What you're seeing behind me is Citroen C3 Aircross, their fourth offering for the Indian market, following the C5, the C3 hatchback, the C3 electric, and of course they're going to come out very shortly, sometime during the second half of 2023 with the C3 Aircross. Now this is a C SUV or a mid-size SUV, expected to be about the length is about 4.3 meters long with about a 2.2 meter long wheelbase. Track's also gotten a little longer, but what we do know is that it is based on the C3 and effectively gives you multiple options for a more premium user. Inside the cabin, you've got a 5-seater option or a 5+2-seater option. That means you can seat up to 7 inside this. Under the hood is a 1.2-litre petrol engine that is turbocharged, and I expect that will increase peak torque and power to about 200 to 20 Newton meters of peak torque, going to up to about 120 to 140 PS of max power. Initially, Citroen will be offering the C3 Aircross with just a manual transmission, but an automatic will follow. In the future, we will also see more color options coming up and maybe a few more variants. Now, where will the pricing, where will it be priced at, what the positioning will be, we're still not sure. Like I said, second half of 2023, early August or end July is where I expect the launch for the C3 Aircross will happen. Let me quickly take you around the car and show you a few more aspects on this. Here's something interesting as well. If you look at the tires, for instance, these are Seat Securas. They're 17-inch alloys and tires, 215/60 profile, which means I'd expect good ride to be offered on this. Again, that's keeping in line with what Citroen offers on all of its cars, especially the C5. They're trying to emulate or rather replicate the ride quality, the ride comfort you get on the C5 Aircross onto the C3 Aircross as well. That's where the Aircross name comes in from, because of that great ride comfort for its occupants. Very strong design elements at the rear. Again, I like the nice chunky tail lamps, that mirror finished element that stretches from edge to edge. You can clearly see the C3 Aircross badging and of course the Pure Tech badging on the other end. As you can see, the third row seats can be taken out entirely from that boot, and that will increase boot volume to about close to about 500 liters of boot space that you get in there. I'm not going to put it back and fit it in and show you how that works. But here's one issue, and that's essentially when you raise the headrest and you close the tailgate, that leaves you with very little room at the rear. Now, Citroen says, or rather insists, that it conforms to all safety standards. This car's been tested and it's been certified by the Government of India. But I'm not very clear about what that certification actually means with that kind of space. Also, with all three rows rather upright, there is literally no boot space or any space to put anything else inside there. The third row, largely for small kids and certainly not for adults. So here we're inside the cabin, the driver's seat of the C3 Aircross, and clearly there's been an effort to make it look and feel upmarket. The quality of plastics though, well, is a bit questionable, not really upmarket. Nonetheless, the design, the style elements, everything looks very, very impressive. I like these aircon vents, I like the tactility of these buttons, the aircon controls as well, the touchscreen as well. Quite an impressive looking thing, very subtle colors, very sober colors in them. The steering wheel as well, nice buttons, nice layout over here. Looks premium, does not feel as premium though. However, overall, if I had to mark this, I would say this is a very impressive cabin and a very impressive place to be in. Now, out here you can see is the manual transmission, and this is a 6-speed manual transmission. When the automatic comes in, and which will follow later on, we will have specifications and more details for you at a later stage in time. But for now, what we know is that it's just going to be powered by the 1.2-litre turbo petrol engine with the manual transmission at start when the car gets launched in the market. And I do believe the variant that we're looking at is going to be the top spec. This is going to be all that you're getting inside the C3 Aircross. This is the 5-seater C3 Aircross, which means you don't get the third row of seats like we saw earlier. Nonetheless, the advantage that this provides is that this middle row, then you get a lot more space inside this than compared to the C3 with the C3 Aircross with the 3 rows of seating. If you look at it very clearly, there's a lot more knee room in this. It also feels like there's a lot more headroom. There's the positioning of the seats. Well, the seat back has been angled as per rather to release a lot more space in here. Now, the platform, of course, is the C3 platform, and this is an extension of that platform where the wheelbase has been increased to about 2.1, 2.2 meters in length. That's about 130 longer than the C3 the compact hatchback. Apart from that, the track has also increased. We don't have the exact details on that, but the track is also increased, so you get a wider, larger cabin, or rather wider and larger body shell as well. In addition, you've got all of the features that you would want in this rear cabin space. 2 charging points, of course USB-A type, and almost everything that is there in here I think is premium, top-notch, feels pretty impressive. Overall then, a pretty handsome looking SUV, and that's I think something that Citroen will be wanting to bank on, the styling that will effectively get a lot of consumers. But what Citroen tells us is that they're increasing their dealership capacity across the country. By the time the C3 Aircross goes on sale, Citroen will have about 60 dealerships running operational around the country, and towards the end of the year, that number is expected to go up to about 100 touch points across India.